Section 31 includes the assembly of the transmission shaft. This part consists of the two basic plastic elements to be affixated to each other. Since the gear shaft is a free-moving element, the installation from the underside is a little bit fiddly. Here you should really have 3 hands. Once this has been done, this protective plate is mounted sideways to the transmission shaft. This gives the whole thing already a little bit more stability. After that, the hoses for the fuel and brake lines must be pulled in. The fuel line is to be threaded into the engine compartment before it's connected to the engine itself. There's still one unconnected pin to which the fuel hose will be flanged onto. The rear fuel line is then to be led up through this small hole to the upper side of the chassis. Then I add the brake lines, though without connecting them anywhere yet, neither in the engine compartment nor to the rear brake discs, as the latter are not installed yet. Section 33 and 34 include 2 exhaust pipes, which are composed of 4 parts each. The plastic parts are quite wobbly, but get sufficient stability as soon as they are secured with screws. Speaking of screws, this crossbar here will affixate the exhaust pipes as well as the transmission shaft. With that, everything has become quite rigid after all. Finally, I assemble the differential transmission. It's not too complicated, as it's basically 2 shells and a lid to be assembled here. Wait, we're not done yet with the differential transmission. First, I add 2 mounting brackets for the suspension. These 2 additional bolts are attached to the chassis to serve as a guide for the 2 springs. The differential transmission is then mounted on top while being both connected to the gearbox and the stabilizer. On the driver's side, I'm about to mount the leaf spring now. There's also a brake disc on lease. First, a fiddly connector for the brake line must be installed. Then the actual brake line is connected before the brake disc is plugged onto the axis. I have no idea why there was 2 hubcaps included in this package, even though there's just one single wheel to assemble. The left rear tire again will be compressed together using clamps to compensate for the wrong inner dimensions of the rim. The tire felt a little less tough this time, and I think I could have even compressed it without the clamps. In a forum, I picked up some other tricks to make the tire more flexible. You can warm it up using a hairdryer or by submerging it into warm water. I neither tried one nor the other. Phase 33 is then literally the same again as phase 36. we're about to mount the right-hand leaf spring as well as the brake disc, but no additional wheel though, as this one is part of the next phase and thus the next video.
With that, section 31 through 38 have been completed. We built? No. You watched and I built. And so I installed the rear transmission shaft together with the petrol and the brake lines. Then I have added those two beautiful exhausts as well as the rear axle and the differential housing. I totally like how this crossbar here brings stability to the transmission shaft, so there's nothing wobbly anymore as everything is affixated now. So I have nothing to complain anymore about the stability overall. Step 35 through 38 then added the suspension and the shock absorbers. Also, there was a random wheel included this time. As seen on earlier occasions, the inner dimensions of the rim didn't fit again once more. So again I had to squeeze it together using clamps. The rubber tie felt more flexible though this time, so I could actually have gone without the clamps. What the additional wheel cap is all about would still have to be clarified. In this regard, I saw also some question marks about it in the German fanhome KITT forum on Facebook. As one had slight scratches and marks and the other didn't, I can only imagine it to be an instant bug fix of some sorts. Next time we'll have a look at this pretty thing here. Michael's comlink. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.